This episode of Tour the World is brought to you by Wendy Tours. Experience a different world. Vietnam Airlines. Antler, the champions of lightweight luggage. And Rendezvous Studio Hotel, Sydney Central. G'day there and welcome to Tour the World. Real people, real travel experiences. Now this week we are on tour in the amazing country of Vietnam with Wendy Tours. It's an incredible country to try and squeeze into half an hour. I'm going to give it my best shot. There's something about Vietnam. Enjoy. The big five for this tour. Visit culture capitals Hanoi, Hue and Hoi An. All meals are included and we give pho a go. Step back in time at Saigon's reunification palace. Your shopping needs are all stitched up in Hoi An and relax on fabulous Ha Long Bay. This amazing tour gets underway in the bustling city of Saigon, including visits to the Mekong Delta and Cu Chi tunnels. We head north to the World Heritage listed town of Hoi An. Then the former imperial capital, Hue, on the banks of the Perfume River. It's on to fabulous French provincial capital, Hanoi, before a cruise on the legendary Ha Long Bay. Our tour finishes back in historic Hanoi. Vietnam is one of my all-time favourite destinations. It sounds like a cliche, but the colours, the sights, the sounds and tastes of this extraordinary country really will awaken your senses. And the people are just fabulous. Touring is a great way to see as much as possible. Wendy Tours offers a fully inclusive experience with flights, meals and all the key sites covered. And we're on tour, so we're going to need a tour guide. What is the best time to visit Vietnam?
The best time to visit Vietnam from September to April. And it's special in November because November in the North Vietnam, that's the autumn. And that one will bring the cool weather whole the country. So people have the chance to enjoy all the scenery. You know that it's beautiful at that time.
So we are going to visit Vietnam's biggest city, Saigon.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Saigon. How many people live there?
For the new investigation in Saigon, we got more than 10 million people living. And Saigon is one of the biggest city right now and is well known during the Vietnam War. And now we renamed Saigon into Ho Chi Minh City, you know, to pay respect to Ho Chi Minh in the north of Vietnam.
Now, travelling with Wendy Tours means your airfares are included in the cost of your tour. We fly with Vietnam Airlines, which offers daily direct flights to Saigon from Sydney and Melbourne, with business and economy cabins. The accommodation on this tour is great. You will stay in good quality, comfortable hotels which are well located, with excellent amenities. Porterage is included, which means your bags are taken up to your room at check-in and brought down again at check-out. Some hotels have pools, so don't forget your swimmers. There's a variety of transport on this tour, but most of our travel is by air-conditioned coach, which is clean and comfortable, with plenty of stops and full coach commentary along the way. The roads are good and the constantly changing country and cityscapes keep me absolutely enthralled as we explore this incredibly beautiful country. Off the bus, there are cruises to enjoy, including the Mekong Delta and amazing Ha Long Bay, which we'll see later in the show. And even a cyclo tour through downtown Hue. I'm travelling with a group of about 20, mainly Aussies. There's a variety of ages, but we all have one thing in common. We're all wowed by this amazing destination. Towards the end of the tour, I catch up with my fellow Vietnam explorers to find out what they thought and why they decided on a group tour.
being our first tour away, we didn't know the run of the show, so we thought that it would make it easier going on a tour. We haven't had to worry about where we are, what we're doing, reading signs. The guide has been absolutely fantastic.
Magical in a way, and I think just seeing the diversity and the contrast, because you kind of do see, you know, the beauty of Vietnam, the beauty of the people, the culture, and you kind of just see the madness of Saigon, and then you see such a beautiful place like, you know, Halong Bay. So yeah, lovely. We did consider travelling within Australia, and we thought, you know, look, we can actually have an overseas adventure here, experience different culture, get the kids to actually experience something different for less, and it's been amazing.
All right, let's get straight into it. Now, on this tour, we get to visit 3 more of Vietnam's most extraordinary cities. I call them the 3 H's: Hanoi, Hue, and Hoi An. Now, I'm about to do a cyclo tour of Hue with Sal. Ready to go? Yeah, good. But right now, let's take a look at gorgeous Hoi An. Now, if Hoi An in central Vietnam isn't near the top of your bucket list, it certainly should be. The ancient UNESCO World Heritage listed town is a perfectly preserved collection of historic homes, merchant stores, assembly halls and pagodas, most dating from the 1800s. The bustling central market is a must-see, as is the old Japanese bridge, built sometime in the early 17th century. Hoi An was an important trading port on the South China Sea. Today, it's one of Vietnam's most popular tourist destinations. And just when you thought things couldn't possibly get any better, evening comes and the whole town is transformed into a glittering kaleidoscope of coloured lanterns and night markets. It's absolutely enchanting.
I did love Hoi An, and I think, you know, just the shopping there is amazing, so any woman would appreciate that place. But I think just the charm and the magical quality of it kind of takes you back in time, I think, because the old sort of world there, yeah.
We head north past China Beach and the city of Da Nang towards our next stop, the former imperial capital, Hue. The drive takes about 3 hours, including a spectacular mountain crossing through the Hai Van Pass. One of Vietnam's most scenic drives, with a hilltop fort that was used by the South Vietnamese and US forces during the Vietnam War. Continuing down the other side, and there's time for a stop at the palm-fringed Lang Co Beach, a magnificent stretch of coastline looking out to the South China Sea. We enjoy a sandy stroll and a quick splash before heading back to the bus and on to Hue. The former capital of the Nguyen Emperors is a fascinating place, and we climb aboard our cyclos for a city tour. Now, navigating Vietnam's traffic is hair-raising at the best of times, but our drivers do an amazing job. This is a fabulous way to see this unique city. Our final stop, Hue's Imperial Citadel, for a guided walking tour. Construction of the citadel, complete with a moat and fortified walls, began in the early 1800s. The citadel housed the imperial buildings of state and the Purple Forbidden City, the home of the imperial family. The structures were badly damaged in the Vietnam War, but today the citadel is the perfect spot for a peaceful stroll as you explore this incredible historic site. Now, Hanoi is just fabulous. The weather is not so good, it has to be said, but there are plenty of undercover gems to uncover if you know where to look, like the amazing Café Pho Co in the Old Quarter. Now, this French provincial capital is renowned for its coffee culture, and I'm here to soak it all in. Hanoi served as the capital of French Indochina for the first half of the 20th century. And the evidence is everywhere. Now the capital of a unified Vietnam, this fascinating city that just celebrated its 1000th birthday buzzes like you won't believe. We escape the rain at Café Pho Co, which is actually a private home that doubles as a cafe. It's full of ageing relics and secret stairways. Take in the views from the rooftop terrace across the Home Kim Lake towards the magnificent Red Huck Bridge. It's good luck if you spot one of the giant tortoises that call the lake home. Don't miss the chance to visit one of the dozens of traditional French bakeries dotted across the city to enjoy a delicious French patisserie or two. And as the weather clears, we head out for a guided walking tour of the extraordinary Old Quarter. This is without doubt one of Asia's most amazing markets, steeped in history and tradition with something new to discover wherever you look. And finally, another Hanoi tradition, the ancient art of water puppetry, which originated in the rice fields of northern Vietnam.
There's a pool of water, and then you see all these little people come out, and then there's ducks and there's turtles, and they're jumping in and out of the water, and they're talking, and that was very good. It was a lot of fun, yeah.
Now, there are centuries of rich history to explore in Hue and here in fabulous Hoi An. But of course, one of the darkest chapters in Vietnam's modern history was the Vietnam War. Now, this tour is an incredible opportunity for history buffs to learn more. For the rest of us, it's a chance to appreciate the incredible resilience of these fabulous people. From Saigon, we make our way northwest to the region of Cu Chi to visit the site of some of the fiercest fighting during the Vietnam War and home to the infamous Cu Chi tunnels.
The tunnel about 250 kilometers, right? The first we built during French War, 1948, in Tăng Phu Trung village, for hiding, not for fighting.
How deep did the tunnels go?
3 levels. The first level 3 meters deep, the second one about 6. The last one from A to 10. The kitchen, dining room, hospital, meeting room under the ground.
The Vietnam War began in the mid-1950s and ended with the fall of Saigon to the Communist North in April 1975. The jungle warfare resulted in horrific casualties. Some estimates put the civilian death toll as high as 4 million and armed forces on both sides at 1.5 million.
I think it's quite confronting, some of the images you see there. And I think I have a newfound, kind of felt emotional sort of tie to Vietnam in relation to what they went through, and I feel quite empathic towards the people here. And yet despite the horrors and the atrocities that they experience, they're so beautiful. There doesn't seem to be any animosity towards Westerners or people coming here, so it's been amazing in that respect, yeah.
Now, the Reunification Palace here in Ho Chi Minh City is a unique opportunity to literally step back in time to the 30th of April 1975, when the first of the communist tanks rolled through the gates, signalling the end of the American War. This is just a spine-tingling piece of history to experience. It almost seems like someone locked the doors of the former South Vietnamese presidential palace that day in 1975, only to reopen them almost 40 years later. The interiors of this incredible time capsule are largely undisturbed. We have a guided tour of the staterooms, presidential office, and the heavily fortified bunker beneath the palace, where the long silent war communications equipment still sits. There's enough time to explore the grounds at the end of the tour and to reflect on the conflict that continues to resonate almost 4 decades later. Jetting off on your dream holiday can quickly become a nightmare if you're the victim of luggage tampering. So here are the top tips from Antler, the champions of lightweight luggage, to make sure you and your luggage arrive safely. Tip number 1, up Update your luggage. Old suitcases are an easy target. Choose the latest technology such as the Antler Drive Light range, made of extra tough polycarbonate, or the Duolite GT range with its exclusive hybrid construction for lightweight durability and strength. Number 2, lock your luggage. Use a TSA approved lock. Now, Antler's Cyberlight range comes with a fixed combination TSA lock, which means no more lost keys, ever. Very clever. Number 3, be vigilant. Report any concerns to airport security immediately. For more secure packing solutions, visit antlerluggage.com.au. Now some amazing special offers on Aussie day tours from Tour the World. In Ipswich, Queensland, save 10% on Pterodactyl Helicopter's Aussie Motorcycle Museum package for 2. With flights, transfers, lunch and entry to the museum in the beautiful Marburg Valley. Just mention Tour the World. Visit any of Sydney's most iconic destinations and national parks on an all-inclusive luxury SUV private tour with Sydney SUV Tours. Save 25% on any tour. Just book online and enter promo code TTW0314. Save 25% on Segway Victoria's tour in the Yarra Valley. Experience the magic of Segway on this fully guided 2-hour all-terrain tour. Perfect for families or groups, including a delicious restaurant lunch. Just mention Tour the World when booking. For more details on these special offers, visit tourtheworld.com.au. All right, time to talk tucker. Now, a word you're going to hear a lot of on this tour is pho. It literally means noodle, and it's more than just a dish, it's a way of life. Highly versatile for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Now, all your meals are included on this tour. It's all inclusive, but there are plenty of opportunities to give pho a try, and I'm going to give it a bash right now. I warn you, I am absolutely hopeless with chopsticks.
Usually when you go to the noodle restaurant, they will ask you, do you want noodle with beef or chicken? Or in Vietnamese they call phở bò or phở gà. So the term, that they will give a lot of things on the table, that with the noodle. They have the chili, they get a mint, they get their pepper, they get their lamb juice. So they're gonna do all the things together in the bowl. And then you taste the broth. And you feel that's okay at that time you enjoy it. For us, pho or the noodle is one of the most beautiful and amazing food we got in Vietnam.
Pho is certainly a culinary highlight on this tour, and with all our meals included, we're served up a tempting array of tasty treats at many fabulous restaurants. All right, now ladies, we've just been told that learning to cook good Vietnamese is a good way to keep your man at home. I suppose that works the other way around as well. The bad news for me is I'm not much of a cook, but I'm here at the Morning Glory Cooking School in Hoi An, and we are learning to cook up a Vietnamese stall. Any cooking class starts with ingredients, so it's off to the Central Market in Hoi An to do some shopping. This is also a wonderful opportunity to connect with the traditional way of life in Vietnam. Be warned, the sights, sounds and smells of the market can be a little confronting, but it's an amazing experience. Back at the Morning Glory Cooking School, and our instructor, Miss Lou, wastes no time in teaching us how to turn out superb shrimp parcels in a tasty broth. Judging from the delicious smells, I'm beginning to think Miss Lou may be onto something with her theory on marriage relations. Then it's over to us, and before long we're turning out some pretty professional looking Vietnamese fare. And I'm happy to report that it tastes just as good as it looks. Now, one of the best things about a visit to Vietnam is, of course, the tailoring, especially here in Hoi An. So we've got shirts, suits, dresses, evening wear, you name it. I'm here with the best in the business, Jane at Yali, and she is going to give me a whole new look. Can you give me this head of hair as well?
I think we can.
Really? Yeah. Fabulous. Hoi An is famous for tailoring, but the key here is preparation. Have a sample of your dream party dress with you, or at least pictures, back and front. A sample of material from home is also a good idea, as the choice in the showroom can be overwhelming. Step 1, visit the showroom to discuss your design. Step 2, select the material. Step 3, the tailor takes your measurements. And we'll see the results a little later. On to Reaching Out Arts and Crafts in Hoi An for a unique souvenir shopping experience. Reaching Out operates on fair trade principles, employing local disabled craftsmen to produce a range of absolutely exquisite handcrafted gifts. There's no middleman, and not only will you take home a beautiful souvenir of your tour, you'll know you've given something back to the local community. Meanwhile, back at Yali, and my tailor, Mr. Hoa, has been hard at work on my suit. And I have to say, I'm absolutely thrilled with the result.
Oh yeah.
Even though this is a packed tour, there's always time for a little R&R along the way, and hand and foot massages are incredibly good value in Vietnam. We also relax on board a cruise on the mighty Mekong River south of Saigon. The Mekong Delta, or Rice Bowl of Vietnam as it's affectionately known, is home to around 17 million people. We're on our way to visit a local village, and we transfer to small sampans to navigate the tiny channels that crisscross the delta. These channels are the lifeblood of the region. They're the local streets of the delta, transferring people and goods back and forth to market. We're soon arriving at our destination for some delicious fresh fruit, a refreshing honey tea, and a performance of traditional song. There's time for a stroll through the village, including the chance to shop for delicious locally made coconut candy. It's a good chance to mix with the locals, and we come face to face with a rather slippery customer. Some of our group seem quite happy to get to know him a little better, but I'm not one of them. Now, this is something I have dreamed of seeing for years, and it's an absolute highlight on this tour. It's amazing Ha Long Bay. Over 3,000 limestone islands and rock formations to explore. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we cruise through this magnificent landscape. Ha Long Bay is an incredibly special place and the perfect way to end our tour. It is possible to upgrade to an overnight stay on the bay, and with good food, good wine and good company, this cruise will be an absolute highlight of your holiday. Now, if you think this tour ticks all the boxes on your holiday checklist, call Wendy Wu Tours or go online to wendywotours.com.au. For more episodes of Tour the World, visit our website or like us on Facebook. Well, that wraps things up here on Ha Long Bay in Vietnam with amazing Wendy Wu Tours. What an extraordinary journey. That also wraps up our series, but we'll be back next year with more incredible touring adventures, and we'd like to see you tour the world again with us. See you then.